7 Little Johnstons. Anna exposes Amber's true nature amid rift. The 7 Little Johnstons family feud between Anna Johnston and the rest of her family has been a big topic for viewers to discuss. Recently, Anna shared a major clue that hints at Amber Johnston's true nature, as well as her behavior as this feud has gone on. Even though this recent family feud between Anna Johnston and the rest of her TLC family has been making headlines for the last few months, the way that a lot of 7 Little Johnstons fans see it, this feud was a long time coming, and there were many signs along the way. 7 Little Johnstons viewers have said for many years that Anna Johnston has always been at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to the family hierarchy. While Amber Johnston has played favorites with Liz Johnston, the exact opposite has been true with the way that Anna has been treated over the years. Naturally, the longer that this 7 Little Johnstons family feud drags on, the more viewers have questions about it. Over the last few months, everything from Anna's on-again, off-again relationship has been speculated as the reason behind the family beef. Recently on social media, Anna Johnston dropped a major clue regarding Amber's true nature, especially as this feud has gone on and played out online. According to Anna, she dished on the feud situation, and recently dropped some major insight into how things are currently going. Anna Johnston said, "And she can talk to me, but never reaches out." In recent 7 Little Johnston scenes, fans see Amber Johnston go to therapy. However, despite learning coping strategies in therapy, according to Anna, her mother has not reached out to her, as this rift and continued bad blood has been festering. 7 Little Johnston's fans have criticized Amber for years for only being about herself and never putting others first, and this recent admission from Anna Johnston certainly adds more weight to these assumptions about Amber's true nature that viewers have held for years. Many 7 Little Johnstons fans had a lot to say about this recent confession from Anna. There has been a lot of misdirection as this feud has been playing out, but the vast majority of viewers believe Anna and her account of events. In response to what Anna recently said, one commenter said, "A person on TikTok was reacting to the newest episode where Amber was in therapy. The user stated they felt like Amber was attacking Anna in the session, and Anna commented that she can talk to me, but she doesn't reach out." Another commenter said, "I have 2 kids and man, my mom heart hurts for Anna. I couldn't imagine treating your daughter like this. To the point where she says these things. The first time I watched the show, the way they explained each adoption rubbed me the wrong way for sure. It seemed like Amber was bragging a bit rather than giving these kids a healthy life." A third person said, "This is so sad. I'm so proud of Anna speaking out, because speaking out against your family is already hard enough. And to be doing it while in the limelight, I can only imagine. I can't even imagine the amount of rejection that she feels. She was adopted, and this is how her family who sought her out treats her. It's so sad, so sad." What do you think about this recent admission from Anna? Let us know in the comments below. Liz Johnston accused of telling lies about her job. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a rather controversial story to unpack. The internet is buzzing, and the courtroom might just be the next battleground. The topic? Liz Johnston, a prominent figure in the corporate world, has recently been accused of telling lies about her job. But what's the truth behind the accusations? Was she really fabricating details about her role, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Stick around, because in today's video, we're diving deep into the allegations, the impact, and the truth, whatever that may be. Before we dive into the accusations, let's take a step back and understand who Liz Johnston is. For those who might not know, Liz Johnston is a well-known businesswoman and entrepreneur, with an impressive career spanning across multiple sectors, including tech, media, and finance. She's been the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company and has been featured in top industry publications for her leadership skills, vision, and relentless drive. She's built a name for herself not only in the business world, but also as a thought leader and advocate for women in leadership. So, with that kind of background, how did Liz Johnston end up being accused of lying about her job? Let's explore. In early 2025, Liz Johnston found herself at the center of a media storm when an anonymous source, someone claiming to be a former colleague, posted on a popular industry forum, accusing Johnston of exaggerating and outright fabricating details about her role and professional achievements. According to these accusations, Liz had claimed to have been directly involved in high-level corporate decisions that were later revealed to be outside her purview. Now, before we jump to conclusions, it's essential to understand the context here. The post alleged that Liz had been inflating her accomplishments in interviews, social media posts, and speaking engagements, potentially misleading both the public and her professional network. This set off a chain of events, with many of Liz's followers, and even some of her colleagues questioning her integrity. The accusations spread like wildfire across social media, and soon, news outlets picked up the story. For the first time in years, Liz Johnston's reputation seemed to be on the line. Some praised her for her transparency and integrity, saying that the accusations were baseless, while others were quick to judge, labeling her as a fraud. The truth, of course, isn't always so black and white. We know that social media can sometimes amplify rumors, and accusations made behind the veil of anonymity can be difficult to substantiate. But the fallout was real. Liz's professional connections began to distance themselves, and brands she had partnerships with started to reassess their relationships. To get to the bottom of this, several investigative journalists began digging into the claims, interviewing people who had worked with Liz, and looking into the details of her corporate career. Liz's team, meanwhile, denied all allegations, asserting that any discrepancies were the result of miscommunications, not deliberate lies. But what did the investigation reveal? Well, here's where things get interesting. It turns out there were a few instances where Liz had overstated her involvement in certain projects. For example, one of the high-profile projects she mentioned in an interview, a multi-million-dollar merger, had actually been a team effort, with Liz playing a more advisory role rather than the key decision-maker she implied. Now, it's important to note that this doesn't necessarily mean Liz was lying in the malicious sense. It could be seen as a strategic use of language to present herself as more central to the success of the business. After all, in today's competitive world, personal branding and positioning matter. So, was Liz Johnston intentionally misleading the public, or is this just a case of PR overreach? The lines between personal branding and reality can sometimes blur, especially in an age where social media and public perception often shape our professional lives more than the truth itself. At the heart of this controversy is the question of authenticity. Was Liz merely engaging in a common practice among high-profile executives, or was she crossing a line? And let's not forget that the modern world of business often rewards self-promotion and exaggeration, blurring the lines of what's acceptable and what's not. After all, many of us know people, whether in business or entertainment, who bend the truth a little to sell themselves or to get ahead. But is that enough to call someone a liar? The answer, as we'll see, isn't so simple. Despite the backlash, Liz has not been silent. She took to social media, sharing a post addressing the accusations head-on. In it, she apologized if her words had been misinterpreted, clarifying that any discrepancies were unintended and due to her often being misquoted or misunderstood. Being in the public eye means being scrutinized constantly, and I recognize that sometimes my enthusiasm for my work might have led to misinterpretations of my role. I never meant to mislead anyone. I am committed to being transparent and honest with all of you. While some may view Liz's response as genuine, others remain unconvinced, arguing that the damage to her reputation is already done. But can an apology and clarification be enough to heal the wounds? Or has the damage already caused irreparable harm to her career? So, what can we take away from this? One of the biggest lessons here is that the lines between personal branding and the truth can get murky. For someone like Liz Johnston, whose career depends on public perception, even the smallest misstep can snowball into a massive scandal. In the age of social media, we're all marketers, and we all have to be careful about how we position ourselves, especially when the stakes are high. And for those who are accused of exaggerating or misrepresenting their roles, it's crucial to be transparent, own up to any mistakes, and rebuild trust. At the end of the day, it seems like the Liz Johnston controversy is less about outright dishonesty and more about the fine line between self-promotion and misleading the public. So, where does Liz go from here? Can she rebuild her reputation and continue to be a leader in her field, or will this scandal be the defining moment of her career? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the latest trends, stories, and controversies. Until next time, stay curious. 7 Little Johnstons. Liz shares her plan to move out with Bryce and Leighton. Amber reacts, "You're not going to make it." Today we've got some juicy updates from the latest episode of 7 Little Johnstons. If you're a fan of the Johnston family, then you know things are always exciting. But this time, things are heating up between Liz, Bryce, Leighton, and Amber. Buckle up, because Liz has shared some big news. She plans on moving out and starting a new chapter in her life with Bryce and Leighton. And trust me, Amber's reaction, not what you'd expect. Keep watching to find out what happened when Amber said, "You're not going to make it." It all started when Liz, Bryce, and Leighton sat down to discuss their future plans. Liz, who's grown a lot over the years, has always been independent, but lately, she's been thinking about taking a huge step in her life, moving out of the family home. "I've been thinking about moving out with you guys. I feel like it's time for me to spread my wings a little more, you know. And honestly, it's something I really want to do for myself." It's clear that Liz feels like this is the right time for her. She's already been living a more independent life, but taking this step means she's ready to take on even more responsibility and live on her own terms. But here's where things get interesting. Bryce is all in. He's on board with Liz's decision to move out. And Leighton, well, he's excited but a bit apprehensive, like any kid would be when it comes to big changes. The family dynamic has always been an important part of 7 Little Johnstons. So, when Liz finally decided to share her big news with Amber, Trent, and the rest of the family, you could sense the tension in the air. Amber, as the motherly figure in the house, has always been protective of her children. But when Liz shared her intentions to move out, Amber didn't exactly respond the way you might think. In fact, she had a rather strong reaction that took everyone by surprise. "You are not going to make it. It's just too much, Liz. You're still my baby. I don't think you understand what it's really like to live on your own, especially with all that comes with it." Amber's words were filled with concern, but also doubt. It wasn't just the emotional side of things. Amber was worried about Liz's ability to handle the practical aspects of living on her own. And if you've been following 7 Little Johnstons for a while, you know that Amber has always been a little bit of a control freak when it comes to her kids. She wants to protect them, and she's always been very involved in their lives. But in this moment, Liz's independence clashed with Amber's desire to keep her close, and that's when the sparks started to fly. Now, anyone who's watched Liz on 7 Little Johnstons knows that she's no stranger to tough situations. She's a strong young woman who knows what she wants. So when Amber voiced her concerns, Liz wasn't having it. "I get where Mom's coming from. She's always been protective, but I'm not a kid anymore. I'm an adult. I've been working on my independence for a while now. I think I can handle it. I'm ready for this." It's clear that Liz has a lot of confidence in herself. She's worked hard to get to this point, and she feels that moving out is the next natural step. But it's not just about the emotional readiness. She's also focused on the financial and logistical side of things. Liz knows it's going to be tough. There will be ups and downs, but she's determined to prove Amber wrong and show her that she can make it on her own. Now, let's take a step back and really dive into Amber's perspective. Amber's worries about Liz moving out aren't just about the emotional impact. She's genuinely concerned about the practicalities. "I just don't think Liz is ready, Trent. It's one thing to talk about moving out, but it's another thing to actually do it. She's going to face challenges she's not prepared for. I get it, but we can't shelter her forever. She's got to learn on her own." It's clear that Trent sees things a little differently than Amber. While Amber's concern is rooted in the desire to protect Liz, Trent is trying to be more supportive of Liz's growth and independence. It's a classic case of two parents, two different perspectives, but both trying to do what they think is best for their daughter. As much as Liz is determined to move out, the reality of it all is starting to set in. Moving out isn't just about finding a place and packing up your stuff. It's about finances, responsibilities, and making sure everything is in place to ensure a smooth transition. I know, Bryce. I've been looking around. I want to make sure it's a good place to start, but I also don't want to settle for something that isn't right. Liz is definitely thinking this through. She's not just rushing into it, but there's still a lot of uncertainty about how everything will unfold. Moving out is a huge step, and while Liz is excited for the future, she's also realistic about the challenges ahead. The tension between Liz and Amber comes to a head in a final showdown. Amber is still not fully on board with the idea of Liz moving out, and Liz's frustration is starting to build. "I just don't think you're ready, Liz. You're going to face so much more than you think. It's not all fun and games. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with it." "I hear you, Mom. I know it won't be easy, but I want to do this. I'm ready to take the leap." In this emotional moment, it's clear that while Amber still has reservations, Liz is determined to follow through with her plan. The path ahead might be tough, but Liz isn't backing down. So, what do you all think? Will Liz be able to make it on her own? Is Amber's worry justified, or is it time for Liz to spread her wings and fly? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your opinions on this whole situation. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from the Johnston family.